Hello, I'm Angela Lee, author of the Bella Santini Chronicles, a children's book series that teaches kids how to positively deal with emotions. I'm going to talk today about repressed emotions, and this may strike a chord with some of you. There is a significant impact that your parents had on molding your emotional world. So you may have grown up being told not to express your feelings or emotions. Some may recall being told to stifle their tears and toughen up. And this shaped your emotional tendencies. While others may not have received explicit directives on emotions, they may have witnessed emotional coping strategies modeled by their parents. The fact is that throughout generations, parents have ingrained in children the habit of numbing, escaping, or suppressing emotions. And the truth is that you were never told that emotional repression is the source of many of this world's woes. Humanity must break this cycle of behavior to find emotional freedom. It's a journey of self-discovery, and it's about understanding yourself. And that may offer you a few surprises along the way. So, in today's episode, I'm going to talk about emotional numbing, emotional repression, escaping, and suppressing behavior. But I'm going to take you back first. Think back to your childhood. Remember those moments when you witnessed your parents dealing, or maybe even not dealing, with emotions. They may have given you subtle cues, or maybe there were outright lessons. But our parents had a big hand in teaching us how to handle what we feel. Yet our inability to deal positively with emotions, it isn't really their fault because they learned how to deal with emotions from their parents. Many people are unaware of the width and the breadth of emotional repression and all the different behavioral patterns associated with repressed emotions. So here are some examples of how your parents may have demonstrated the repression of emotion. This repression manifests in three main categories. It's either numbing behavior, escaping behavior, or suppressing behavior. In the category of numbing behavior, there are many things that we are very familiar with. It's using substances to escape how you're feeling. You may have witnessed your parents turning to alcohol, drugs, or other substances to numb those emotions that allowed them to cope. But they may also numb through simply ignoring their feelings. They can dismiss or downplay their emotions. And in that, they teach their kids how to ignore or invalidate how they feel. In Great Britain, where I lived for a year, there's the renowned British Reserve, keep a stiff upper lip. And that is a notable illustration of this behavior. Shut up. Don't talk about it. We don't let people know how we feel. Another escaping behavior is in self-harming. It could be cutting. It could be emotional eating. It could be anorexia or bulimia. Any behavior that seeks to numb painful feelings through self-harming activities. But that's not all. Next, there are escaping behaviors. There are distracting activities, and these are less destructive, but still it's emotional repression. So, um, constant engagement in activities like work, television, shopping, exercise, or gaming to avoid confronting painful emotions. There's also avoidance of conflict. Parents may shy away from addressing conflicts. I'm just not going to deal with that. And that teaches children to avoid uncomfortable situations. Some parents may physically distance themselves from emotionally charged situations, teaching children to escape emotional intimacy. And then there's what I've been known to call spiritual bypassing, which is overemphasis on the positive. Constantly focus on positive aspects, avoiding discussion of negative emotions. And frankly, I think there's emotions are neutral, and it's how we express those emotions that is either negative or positive. But avoiding discussion about difficult emotions that may lead children to believe that negative feelings should be avoided rather than addressed. And lastly, we'll talk about suppressing behavior. The toughen up mentality. Parents may enforce a toughen up mentality, discouraging the expression of vulnerability or sensitivity. There's also some parents who might punish you for emotional expression. Children who are scolded or punished for displaying emotions like crying or anger. They learn to suppress those feelings to avoid punishment. And lastly, there's emotional invalidation. Parents may dismiss or belittle their children's emotions, teaching them that their feelings are unimportant or invalid. So, the way that your parents demonstrated this behavior could vary significantly. It could be extreme. Like in my case, my father was a raging alcoholic. But extreme cases could be a father developing alcoholism or a workaholic father or mother. But it could also be very subtle, where your mom is reaching for a glass of wine after a stressful day. Yes, it's a soothing and calming behavior, but it's still escaping the emotion. Or your parents may have struggled to openly express their feelings. And this is an unintentional modeling of how we were supposed to deal with our emotions. So, in conclusion, the majority of these emotional modeling, emotional coping strategies are unhealthy. And the behaviors are what I consider negative coping strategies, not negative emotions, negative coping strategies. Um, so it is in how you choose to express your emotions. You can choose to be positive or negative, but that's for another day. Thank you.